My name is Eleanor. I am a third year student currently studying accounting and Spanish, and I have just started my year abroad in Spain as part of my degree. I have come to the conclusion that actually moving to another country by yourself is genuinely terrifying, and for the first few days I was so scared it was unreal. However, by completing these small tasks of filling in their paperwork, getting a flat, going to the supermarket for the first time by yourself, getting some euros out for the first time, it does make you feel a lot more confident, and it gives you such a self-esteem boost that by the end of it you will be feeling very independent as a person, and you will feel like an adult and that you can do whatever you put your mind to. It's a scary experience to start off with, but it is very worthwhile. I currently live in a small town called Torre del Mar, which is in the south of Spain in a province called Andalusia, which is about 20 miles east of the city of Malaga. I'm here for a work placement rather than a university placement, and I'm placed with the British Council. So I am currently a foreign language teaching assistant in a primary school in the town next to mine. I'm teaching in classes in the primary school from ages 4 to 11, so all year groups, and I'm teaching in all different types of subjects, so the class from geography to natural science to social science to maths to music to PE even. I'm teaching in all aspects, and I'm helping with their English, and I'm correcting the children's pronunciation, I'm teaching them little phrases, I'm doing fun activities and games every lesson with them in the medium of English for them to help learn the language, which is so important to you these days. When you're in a classroom for an hour and you can actually see some of the children picking up the phrases and correcting the mistakes they were actually making at the beginning of the lesson, and knowing you've actually made a difference, it's quite fulfilling, and it makes you feel really good about yourself, and it really boosts your self-confidence. It's also been an excellent way to learn some Spanish whilst talking to the teachers and talking to even some of the parents of the children. And if the children doesn't understand you in English, you do have to use a bit of Spanish just to help them understand what you mean. I wanted to experience a smaller town rather than a large city with a university, which is why I chose to work in Torre del Mar rather than Malaga, because I thought it would be smaller and therefore less daunting and more comforting. If I wanted to go explore, I could, and it was just a bit more exciting. And it's very genuine. Not everyone speaks Spanish here. I'm experiencing genuine Spanish tapas, genuine Spanish food, genuine Spanish holidays. Everything is true to the Spanish culture and everything I expected it, and I'm loving it. I didn't actually bring that much with me because my thought process was if I really needed something I could buy it, or I would fit it into the suitcase I brought with me. So I only had 18 kilos to bring with me, which sounds like a lot, but when it's a whole year, that's just one big suitcase, and you've got to put your whole life into one big suitcase. So I brought clothes. It's definitely summer clothes, shorts, t-shirts. I brought some work wear, so more formal blouses and outfits. However, it is still quite casual around here, as well as winter clothes, because whilst it is Spain and very hot during the day, in the evening it does get quite chilly, and the way the buildings are made, they don't maintain any heat, so you have to wrap up and layer up warm. I also brought a few personal items such as photos, cuddly toy, my favourite set of pyjamas, just things that made my flat once I moved in a little bit more homely and a little bit happier if I ever felt homesick. Once I arrived in Spain, I had a lot more paperwork to do, such as my NIE, which is my Número de Identidad Extranjero, which was just my identity number as being foreign but within the country for a year, and I needed it to open up my bank account. I needed to get paid by the Spanish government, and it's just a good idea to have, and once you have it for life. So whilst it's stressful, it is a one-time thing you have to go through. And at the police station when I went, it was very easy. I already had the form filled out, they helped me out with everything, and it was a simple process. It just was quite overwhelming at the time. Once I was in Spain as well, I also had to open up a bank account as well as find somewhere to live. However, finding somewhere to live was quite a lot easier than I expected, and I had already found a flat and made the deal within 24 hours of actually landing in the country. So it's definitely not something to worry about, but I do recommend you do some research, find a few agencies within your town. All in all, considering I have been here for only 2 weeks, I would still definitely recommend this year abroad option if you are considering it. And even if you're not considering it, I would definitely suggest to put some research into it and to look if you can do it. My university offers it to not only just language students, but to anyone studying a degree at their university. So even if you don't speak the language, you can go somewhere that is English speaking, or you can try pick up the language. I've seen lots of classes to learn Spanish here. It is something I would definitely recommend. It's a great way to meet new people, especially like-minded people who are interested in the same thing as you are. I've already had lots of fun. I've really experienced a new culture and a new life within Spain. I've already been to 2 fiestas, I've been to the beach, I've been to Spanish museums and Spanish castles, I've eaten Spanish food, I'm going to the Spanish supermarket every day. It is very involving and you really do experience every single part of life within Spain, and by the end of it you'll never want to leave. I can really tell that now. I feel like it's a very good work opportunity as well, something to put on your CV. Having a year abroad, employers look at you with much more interest. It's something to talk about. It's something that gives you skills that some other people might not be able to gain in other ways, and it does make you a much more independent person and gives you a lot of confidence.